Hey, welcome to the closing beat, everybody. Happy Wednesday, right? It's Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday. It's Wednesday. That's right, it's Wednesday. Hey, quick stock market update show that we do for you guys here to go over the stock market. And I guess today would be more important to point that out. We're here to talk about the stock market, how things are affecting the market and not personal beliefs and things like that. I know it's a challenging day out there if you've been watching TV, but it's what it is. You know what else is challenging? Someone's impersonating us on old YouTube. I guess that's where how you know you've met it or made it. Customers sent us some comments that Jazz Wealth had left. Turns out it was a replicated channel, and so hopefully that's gone. That is not us. We will never suggest that you contact someone on WhatsApp for whatever reason, nor should you contact anybody on WhatsApp from a comment left in YouTube or wherever you see it there. Well, here we go. So we got the stock market higher today, with Democrats taking full control there. The blue wave official. If you're a Democrat, you love it. If you're a Republican, you don't. Maybe you're not here. You're on Capitol Hill right now. But nonetheless, the market's responded by moving higher. So that's what we've got here. I'm going to just kind of go through some of the things here. One thing I want to point out, I believe Joe Biden said they were going to push for the $2,000 stimulus checks if they won Georgia, and they won Georgia, so I don't know if that's coming out here. But one thing I want to point out is you're going to have to take this into consideration. If you're working with a financial advisor, you may want to start asking these questions. The money supply. We have, Goldman Sachs said they think with the blue wave there, they'll get another $600 billion into stimulus this year in 2021. And so basically, let's just say that puts us at $20 trillion. That's more than a quarter of the U.S. money supply printed, I guess, in just the last year, not even the last year there. So looking pretty crazy there. I messed up something, and I'll fix that a little bit later. But yeah, you got to look at that. That's going to come back to affect you in the way of inflation. I'm not saying the world ends or there's some mass spike in inflation, but you can't print 1/4 of all the money and just throw it out there and not expect inflation. Now, the Fed wants inflation, so it's not a bad thing necessarily as long as they can keep it under control. But we'll leave it to you to decide whether that's something they can do or not, or if they could do that or not. Man, that's just going to kill me there if I could just... That's my bad. Hold on one second. That's my... Well, I was just playing with something over here. If I could just take 1 second, fix that. That'll kick in just a second. I hope. Let's go over here to this guy, and then, man, that's just my bad. We'll go over here. If I could just do this. Can I just have a second? How you guys doing today? Everybody doing good out there? I know y'all having a good day. I'm having a good day. Not too bad. Doing a little Bob Ross talking right there. Yeah, there we go. All right, here we go. So we're jamming here. Hey, so as far as the markets go, actually it was a good day for a lot of portfolio positions in our portfolio. About 20% of our stocks in our portfolios were up over 5% on the day, even with the afternoon pullback. So happy to see that. One thing that was interesting that did happen, by the way, you maybe remember on Monday I talked about this. This was the performance of the stocks. What we did is we compared the stocks that sold off on Monday with that sell-off, you may remember. The ones that sold off the most were the ones that had the best gains going into the end of the year. So we broke it into deciles there and talked about that. Well, yesterday was the exact opposite. I mean, just an absolute reversal there. The stocks that were the best performers in the last part of the year were the best performers yesterday. You know what today is? Today is an exact opposite of that. We're back to this. So a complete flip-flop there, back and forth. Investors can't seem to make up their minds whether they want to be in the best performers or if they want to rotate out into some of those more discounted stocks. It's been back and forth every single day. So the bottom line is I won't be talking about that much more because there's no clarity there. Right now the markets are sort of shifting all over the place. There's rotation into financials. There's rotation out of tech if you're looking in there. So there's a bit of a mess overall. Cody, let's see if Cody has anything to say about that. You got anything you want to offer?
Nope.
Nope? Nothing? Okay. Yeah, there you go. New screen we're trying out there. Hey, that messed up too. We got to fix that. Anyways, let's go over to the stock market here today and take a look. I'm going to start with the old Nasdaq. That was your weakest one on the day today. The FANG stock sold hard, but here's the thing. You got to replace Netflix with NVIDIA. If you're looking there, NVIDIA broke down kind of a bit today. Tech was the worst sector in the Qs today. And the Nasdaq itself down. That's going to be about 2% for the year already, so a little bit of a pullback there. If you look at the Dow making up new highs today, it was actually the best performer. You go back to this main screen here, anytime the Dow shows greater performance, more than 10 times that of the S&P on a percentage basis, something's odd. Something sticks out. You want to go take a further look there. So if we look inside the Dow, here's what we got. United Healthcare, great day for them, up 4% on the day. Goldman Sachs Financial now outperforming its peers by more than 2x. If you want to take a look through that. And Caterpillar moving to new highs today. They were responsible. Those three stocks responsible for over half the gains in the Dow today. So that's the reason for the separation between that and the S&P. If you look at UNH there, their Optum division is going to be buying Change Healthcare for $13 billion. Goldman Sachs, I mentioned already, doing well, hitting new highs there. They say that going to be $600 billion more in stimulus at a minimum in 2021 now with the way things have shaken out. You've got Microsoft there pulling back a little bit today. These were your laggards, Microsoft, Apple, and Salesforce at the bottom. So you got Salesforce headed back to the 200-day. I know some of you are looking for that. That's a good thing for you. Apple also pulling back in the middle of an uptrend, so it's not a big deal, this pullback here. It's maybe something you want to look at, hopefully pulling back a little bit further there if that's something you're interested in. If we go over to the S&P 500 today, 80% of all stocks in the S&P 500 are above their 50-day moving average. It's 80.9 if you want to be exact there. 80 names in the S&P 500 gained over 5% today, and there were more than that at the highs. So it was actually a really, really strong day for that one there. All of the weak names today happen to be the strong names in 2020. For example, you got names like Etsy. This was one of the really stronger names in 2020. Aside from Tesla, it was the best performer in the S&P 500. Now, it wasn't there the whole year, but still, it goes down as the second best performer in the S&P 500. You had names like AMD pulling back here. These have been strong names. Activision also pulling back. Recently, really, really strong names there. They just weren't getting any love today. PayPal, also another one that's continuing to pull back. So a little bit of that going on in the S&P, but it's too early to say if it's rotation there unless you're talking about financials. That's clear rotation right now into financials there. Your goofy stocks did well today with some of the news out of New York that they're going to look to maybe legalize that over there because they have to. They need the money. You also had some of the gaming stocks out there as well. Penn National, about 2.5% higher on the day. DraftKings also, although it faded a little bit, DraftKings up about 3% on the day. Not too bad there. Some of the goofy stocks you may want to look at, you got Aurora up about 6% on the day, and Tilray, one of the more popular ones people like to look at, up 13%. Remember, these guys are they're struggling, right? So you're betting on a kind of a long shot play there. Hey, if you want to learn a little bit more about the markets, we got 3 videos coming out this week. FinTips videos. Monday's video was adding more retirement income without sacrificing. How you could actually look at some of your strategies there to increase the amount that you can spend, although you may end up with less dollars. Pretty cool how we work through that there. Today we covered fixing your 2020 mistakes. If you made mistakes in 2020 as far as contributing too much to 401ks, IRAs, and things like that. And on Friday we'll have a little fun with my 2021 predictions there. Our Wine and Wealth class actually tomorrow on Thursdays. Every Thursday we do a class for customers, unless it's a holiday or something. But first class of 2021, we're going to cover an HSA to IRA trick that is completely legal in the tax code. It's just, one of those sort of rules that's buried way deep in the mix there. So we'll be sure to take a look at that. If we go over to the sector breakdown here for the day, you're going to find a little bit of mixed energy going on there. I've got some interesting things. I might bounce around a little bit here and share this with you. But financials, the best performer of the day there. A lot of financials did well. If you're digging in there and you want to look to see, actually Wells Fargo did well. This has been one of the big laggards. Wells Fargo has done well and continues to look good there. Not a sector, but if we look at retail also hitting new highs today. Basic materials came in second place sector-wise, up 4% on the day. Looking really, really good there. You might have saw the price of oil continuing its rally from yesterday, up another 1%. That helped out the energy stocks today. They just continue to be on a nice little run there. Speaking of run, let's take a look at something here. Let's take a look at the solar ETF here. This is TAN, T-A-N, Solar Energy, up 8.6% today. It's been on a run, man. Serious run there. Been on fire there. It now accounts, solar, by the way, accounts for 4.13% of all energy production today. For example, like even today, I mean, you can look at some of the stocks. You got Sunrun up 16% there. We own Solar Edge. Let's get this out of the way. Solar Edge with a good day, up 10% on the day. Plug Power, that's the other one I wanted to point out. Plug Power had a good day. These are all extremely extended here in the short term. The solar ETF that I know a lot of you are looking at, up 8% just today. It's up 30% in the last month, over 230% over the last year. The question is this it? Is this going to start slowing down here? Are we overpaying for the solar stocks or alternative energy there? Well, one thing you can do is actually look at renewable energy. So we'll take this out here, and here's the solar ETF TAN, so just same thing we were just looking at there. But I want to look at renewable energy production. So if I zoom out here and just go as far back as we can, you notice we got renewable energy production kind of flatlining here. It's a 5-year chart looking all the way back. If you want to look back as far as you can, no doubt that it's been on a tear, right? No doubt we're moving in that direction. But in the short term here, we've just started to pull back. The numbers just came out actually for November, I believe. And we've started to pull back here a little bit, which would be the same thing as you doing something in the energy market. If you're looking at energy stocks, but you see the price of oil starting to slide, you question, how long can those energy stocks actually hold up? The exact same thing. So we're looking in the same sort of camp here. Well, if we've got renewable energy production dropping, what we want to know is, does that affect solar? So what I'm going to do is go to solar energy production. We're going to just maybe zoom in a little bit here so we can see this. Solar energy production pulling back as well. Not a big deal, right, in the short term because we're in the middle of a big uptrend here. You could argue it's seasonal. But we've got production dipping. So in the short term, do we have a reason to justify these high prices here? You could also look at, there's a... what is it, fan, I believe it's called. There's a wind one. Yeah, wind is also doing well also. This is an ETF for wind type energy. FAN is the ticker symbol there. That one also off the charts. If we take a look at renewable energy in terms of wind, that is also pulling back a little bit as well and has been pulling back. Just like oil, that starts to weigh on the price of these stocks inside these particular industries. So something you want to consider there, if you own those positions, maybe a little profit taking. I'm not saying they're going to fall, but I'm saying that the production of solar and wind energy is starting to decline. As we get into earnings season, expect that to show a little bit of weight overall on how that works. So just a fun one. Just want to share that with you there. If we look elsewhere here, what can we do? Let's go to the watch list here for today. Or not a watch list. We're going to do new highs, new lows. So new highs, new lows. We got 88 new highs today. It was actually a really strong day for those new highs, and lots of great names to take a look at if you are trying to build a watch list or trying to look for that strength, momentum, and things that you can play along with. That's definitely something you want to take a look at. There were no new lows, by the way. Everything that hit today was new highs. Let's start with some of the ones that you're not going to hear a lot about. Freeport-McMoRan. Did you know that this one was actually in the top 10 performers in the S&P 500 for 2020 there? Up almost 100%, just over 90% there. By the way, Albemarle also. This was in the top 10 as well. Chemical stocks are on the move. You got to be looking at chemical stocks if you haven't already. You got a lot of rotation going into that area. Financials, chemical stocks. So that's a couple of them that stick out to me. You got Vulcan. So Vulcan, just a real standard technical breakout here. Nice consolidating pattern. It took a few months off, just relaxed a little bit, and now breaking out. So that one's interesting. Limited Brands. This is Victoria's Secret and Bath & Body Works, if you happen to be looking into it there. It was the 6th best performer in 2020. Wasn't Apple. It beat Apple, right? Well, NVIDIA was the best, or one of the best there that was in the S&P all year long. But Limited Brands, who would have thought, right? Up 7% on the year. They still intend to spin off Bath & Body Works, so that's their goal. That's a reason for a lot of the excitement there. Bath & Body Works accounts for 40% of their sales, and they're killing it. All the actions in Bath & Body Works, so everybody is just jumping over themselves, wanting to participate in that when they do it. Bath & Body Works sales up 55% last year versus Victoria's Secret sales were down 14%. So the action clearly in Bath & Body Works, if they spin that off, that's really the investment here. They have more stores than Victoria's Secret as well. They got like 1,750 stores of Bath & Body Works compared to like 950 for Victoria's Secret. So something to keep in mind there if you're taking a look. And that just hit new highs. I don't know why I got off on that rant. Told you I was going to jump around today, didn't I? International Paper, here we go. These guys hitting new highs. If you're not familiar with the company, just think paper, toilet paper, boxes, things like that. That's what they do. They are in debt reduction mode, and they're doing a great job of it, by the way. So they had, I think it was about 11 billion in debt. Can't find it at the moment. It's around 11 billion in debt. They're down to $8.5 billion in 1 year. So you talk about like your personal finances, and I always relate that to corporate finances. When you're paying off your debt and stuff, these guys have cut costs. They've found ways to raise their profit margin, and taking that cash, I don't think they returned a whole lot to shareholders there, but they're reducing their debt. Kind of like AT&T did, but it's going a little bit better for these guys here. They're going to generate about $2 billion in free cash flow in 2021. They got their costs down by about $150 million as well. So naturally, that's going to help and gives you a reason why that stock is moving higher. JB Hunt hitting new highs as well. Very sloppy breakout if you want to take a look at this. What I always found fascinating, and if you haven't picked up on it yet, I'm using this year to share more about companies as well as technical patterns as well. One interesting thing I always loved about JB Hunt, you know, you've seen them. You've seen these trucks around. It's the yellow thing. It says JB Hunt. Well, here's an interesting thing. It's always the long, like 53, 54 footers that they pull. That's their big thing, transportation. They got like 81,000 trucks. They made the box fit on the truck in a unique way. In other words, you can't take another truck and put that on the same box. I don't know what that thing's called on the back there. So that way, only their trucks can transport their boxes, right? Can't go the other way. Sort of limits competition. They were the first, and I believe still the only to do that, actually. Now, their focus is, by the way, if you're looking into this year, if you're kind of following their earnings, their focus is on the last mile. You probably heard this from like Amazon and stuff. They're trying to solve that last mile service. Like, we can get it from California to Florida, but who gets it from Florida to Tampa? Things like that. So that's what they're working on there. They're acquiring companies. They want to dominate that field there, and investors agree with that, actually. So I think that was my last new high for the day. That was the last new high. Let's move on over to stocks in the news and see what we've got over there, and then I'll take your questions if you happen to have any. Amazon in the news there. They're planning to invest more than $2 billion to create 20,000 affordable housing units. Amazon. There you go. Down 2.5% on the day. CBS in the news there. They said they are now up to 49 or 50 states that they're administering the vaccines to nursing homes there. So, a lot of people frustrated with how slow it's going, but these guys are in the mix and obviously helping out with distribution and stuff. Going over to their competitor, Walgreens Boots Alliance there, they're going to sell their healthcare business to Amerisource. I think it was $6 billion or something, a lot of money, right? So the stock a little bit higher there. They've needed to offload that for a while there. Cal-Maine, if you're not familiar with these guys, just think eggs. They make eggs. Stock was up 3% on the day today. They beat on earnings a little bit, and they said egg demand is actually really, really strong, which is good for them. I believe they're the largest producer of that, so that's good to know. Moderna actually continuing to bounce off the 50-day moving average there. Not looking too bad. Moderna getting that bounce, I believe in the EU, they did get the Moderna vaccine recommended to be authorized somewhere. Yeah, over there in Europe. So a little bit of momentum for them, 6.5% gain on the day. Cody, got anything to say about that?
Nothing. Sounds good.
It sounds good. Doing good today. All right. I love it. Let's see if we got any questions. We'll take a look. And while we're doing that, you've got earnings season coming up, right? Don't forget that. Next week is the start of earnings season. We're going to cover a whole lot of unique and different stuff there for you. Walgreens reports next week, by the way. And as I look around, you got Carnival Cruise, Bed Bath & Beyond, Fizz, a couple others in there as well. And then you got dividends out. 63 cents from Verizon, Landstar paying out $2, General Mills paying out 51 cents, Network Appliances 48 cents, and MasterCard 44 cents, American Express 43 cents. And Rheingold paying out 30 cents. I love it. Yep. It sounds like the Blue Rhino propane tanks. Yeah. You know what I mean? Give yourself a competitive advantage. I'm all for it. Did a good job. What's going on with FedEx in your opinion? Had great earnings, but it's been down ever since. They got earnings season firing up here. So FedEx, actually, it's kind of a nice pullback, don't you think? So FedEx in the short term, how much is that here just since hitting a high? If we go down and take a look, it's about 17% off highs. Hopefully you can get a 20% pullback there for people that are looking into that FedEx. I don't blame it. You kind of like that. It's been months and months since you've been able to get a pullback of any meaningful value. So actually, I don't have a problem with it. The recent pullback here is going to be due to Amazon. So what was it, yesterday? Amazon bought a whole group of planes from different airlines there. So Amazon is clearly moving forward in a very aggressive way with their self-delivery sort of thing. So that's part of the news there. I bet you anything that's part of it. I love it. You got a lot of IPOs on the block as well. I see your Oatly comment there. Robinhood supposedly as well. Yeah, a whole bunch of them. I think there was like 16 different names that you may not know all of them there, but Oatly's going to get a lot of attention because that's Oprah, right? That's anything Oprah touches does well. So that one will get a lot of attention there because of the brand name power. But you got to expect a lot of companies to try to go public in 2021. If I were a company in a position to go public, I would think you'd be trying to race that thing out. You are getting valuations that are off the charts. Why not get it while the getting's good? You know, people want to pay for it. That's right. You don't like the politics. I don't see all the comments there. Cody watches them sometimes, but I don't get to see all of them. Yep. Start a new Ryanair. No, they apparently are interested in starting some housing units, 20,000 affordable housing units there. I think they were going to be like sustainable type projects as well, so it's going to be a little bit costly. Yep, I love it. Oh, Amazon here, by the way, everywhere. Yeah, those sort of grayish blue trucks everywhere. Oh yeah, I see them nonstop. Yep, I love it. Oprah handing out stock. Yeah, you haven't seen much of her lately, so you imagine she'll be coming out of the woodworks a little bit for that Oatly when they go public, so we will see. All right, I'll wrap it up there, and we'll call it a day. It's all good. Cody, anything else you want to add?
Nope. Good show.
Good show. Good show. All right. That's not a bad start. All right. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of your evening there, and we will see you later. Adios.